Here we are, back at it again, round two, day two of being sick and recording. Cheers. We're going to keep our water on hand. But no, everything's good. Everything is okay. We again have managed to find the sweet spot between the chicken soup, the tea, and the hot shower that has allowed us to get off the couch and record today. So that is a blessing, thank God. And so we're going to use this time and we are going to have a good one. We absolutely are. So today, while I was in the shower, I was just thinking and just oftentimes I find all the time actually, I find myself reflecting in the shower. And that's when most of the, I would say, video ideas come to mind. But a lot of the times, even journal things I want to write about in my journal, just a chance to be able to just write, think about, process through the day. But I was in the shower and just thinking about, all that's gone on all through the year, today, last week, everything, right? And so, what really stuck out to me was managing expectations. And one of the hardest parts on your way to success, on your path to success, is accepting that every step isn't going to look the way that you envisioned it. And that was something very hard for me to accept, I would say, a couple of years ago. I think I've gotten better with it over time. It was a slow process. And then there's still parts of me that really fight that because I'm a recovering perfectionist. So there's parts of me that want to hold on to that control of seeing the things that I see in my mind come to fruition just the way that I pictured it. I'm also a creative. So when you live in a creative space in your brain, of course, you want to be able to bring the things that you see in your brain to life. And so you want to be able to do those things. But, I'm here to tell you that none of that is wrong and none of that is bad, right? But when it comes down to our path to success, our reaching our goals, the process it takes to getting to our goals, we oftentimes can find ourselves frustrated because um, the process itself doesn't look like how we envisioned it. And, you know, and it may not necessarily come from the process itself. It just comes, it just shows up in a different package, I would say. And, you know, we have a certain picture in our mind, but reality looks very different. And what I've had to come to understand, especially being a believer, is this is where faith really asks us to dig deeper and to really let go of the process and let God show up exactly how he wants to show up. Not on our timeline, not in our packaging, but in his own way. God knows exactly where you're at. He sees you, he hears you, and he's not a man that he should lie, and he is faithful to show up for you. So let that be your comfort today. But our responsibility really is to surrender and to choose to partner with God in this experience. And if you can hear, my dog is deciding she wants to play with her toy right now. So we pray that she decides that she's not going to start barking, but we don't know. She said, let's see. I guess she's going to be good for mommy. Okay. But our our job is to partner with God, being open to how he decides how he's going to move. Not just that he moves. He's not our genie in a bottle. He's not here to grant our three wishes, but of course, he wants to give us the desires of our heart. So don't hear me say that, you know, throw your desires to the wayside. No, it's not that at all. But also, we have to be open to how God is going to do it. Because somebody told me, I can't remember who it was where I heard it. And I'm sure I've heard some rendition of this before. But if you think you know what God is doing, then you're completely wrong, or something like that. Then you're in the wrong. If you think you know what path God is leading you down, you're on the wrong path, or something like that. Something like that. To that to whatever that might be. Meaning, like, you don't know what God is doing. You don't know how God is going to do it. We cannot fathom God's greatness, God's mind. So we need to stay in a posture of faith and trust in knowing that God has our best interest at heart. And how many people can we say honestly have our best interests at heart? God has our best interests at heart. And because he does, we can trust, fall, let go, and surrender and say, you know what, Father, I can't see what you're doing. I don't understand what direction I'm going in, but I'm going to allow you to move in the way that you want to move right now. Yeah. Yeah. Because I cannot finagle this. I can't MacGyver this. I can't do any of this in my own strength. I can, but I know that it won't be anything near what you have planned for me. So in that case, I'm gonna hand it over to you. So, but I'm not gonna harp too much on that. I'm not, because like I said, God is gonna work everything out for your good and his glory. And even when the process doesn't look like how you imagined it, so if you're finding yourself frustrated in the process today, frustrated because things just don't seem like they're panning out in the way that you anticipated, I want you to stop. I want you to stop. I want you to breathe. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to let it out. And I want you to release the picture and trust that God is still writing the story, no matter what. So I am going to get off here and get my butt back on the couch. And you're going to have a good night. And Remember that on this channel, we're learning to lead ourselves well so that you can serve others better. Have a good night and we'll talk soon. Bye bye.